Let us begin our journey into the ancient world, a world shrouded in mist and mystery, where the very stones whisper tales of forgotten times. Imagine, if you will, the gentle hum of the universe, a soft drone that accompanies the slow turning of the earth. As we drift into this narrative, allow your mind to wander through vast landscapes, touched by the hands of builders long since turned to dust, yet whose legacies stand defiantly against the relentless march of millennia. We are about to embark on an exploration of megalithic structures and impossible stones, a realm where the boundaries of known history blur, and the whispers of lost giants or celestial interventions begin to echo through the silence of the ages. Close your eyes, if you wish, and let the imagery unfold. Chapter 1. The Unexplained Colossus, an Enduring Enigma. Begin with the sheer awe and profound perplexity surrounding ancient megalithic structures. These monumental constructions, found across the globe, stand as silent testaments to an unknown past, challenging our understanding of ancient capabilities. Picture them under the pale moonlight, or bathed in the first soft rays of dawn, their colossal forms casting long, deep shadows that seem to stretch back into the very dawn of time itself. From Baalbek to Puma Punku, colossal stone blocks, perfectly cut and moved, defy modern explanation for ancient methods. Were they built by a forgotten race, or with assistance from beyond? The very existence of these sites prompts a deep dive into the limits of human achievement and the possibility of extraordinary influences. Imagine standing before one of these giants, feeling the cool ancient stone beneath your fingertips, sensing the immense weight of history pressing down. The air around them often feels different, charged with an unspoken energy, a lingering echo of the immense effort and perhaps the profound purpose that brought them into being. Let us consider for a moment the vastness of time. Millennia upon millennia have passed since these stones were first quarried from the earth, shaped by hands unknown, and moved into their impossible positions. Empires have risen and fallen, civilizations have flourished and vanished, languages have been born and died, yet these stones remain. They endure through the relentless erosion of wind and rain, through the tremors of earthquakes, through the shifting sands of time. Their persistence is a testament not only to their physical resilience, but also to the enduring mystery they embody. The central question that draws us into this ancient labyrinth is profound. How were these monumental feats of engineering achieved by civilizations supposedly lacking advanced technology? And why do they continue to spark such intense debate and speculation among historians, archaeologists, and alternative researchers alike? It is a question that refuses to be silenced, a persistent whisper in the collective consciousness of humanity. The precision with which these stones are cut, the sheer scale of their weight, and the immense logistical challenges involved in their placement push the boundaries of conventional historical narratives, forcing us to reconsider what we truly know about our distant past. Imagine the quiet, starlit nights over these ancient sites. The wind, a timeless storyteller, sighs through the gaps in the stones, carrying with it the faint echoes of forgotten labor, perhaps even the spectral presence of those who toiled here. What did they know that we do not? What secrets are held within the very molecular structure of these ancient rocks? The questions linger, inviting us to look beyond the obvious, to consider possibilities that stretch the fabric of our current understanding. Consider the notion of impossible. In our modern world, with all our technological marvels, our cranes that lift hundreds of tons, our laser cutters that slice through the hardest materials, our global transportation networks, we still gaze upon these ancient structures and declare them, by the standards of their supposed era, impossible. This word, impossible, is not uttered lightly. It is born from careful calculation, from engineering principles, from a thorough understanding of physics and mechanics. Yet these structures stand, defying our modern logic, a silent challenge to our assumptions about ancient capabilities. The precision of the cuts, often described as laser-like or surgical, on stones that are incredibly hard, like granite or diorite, goes beyond what simple copper or bronze tools could achieve. Imagine trying to carve intricate, perfectly flat surfaces or sharp, precise angles into rock as hard as quartz, using only primitive implements. The effort would be immense, the results likely crude. Yet, at sites like Puma Punku, we see cuts so fine, so exact, that they appear to have been made by machines. This level of accuracy, repeated across countless blocks, suggests a mastery of stoneworking that seems utterly out of place in the Neolithic or Bronze Age. And then there is the scale. We are not talking about small, manageable stones. We are talking about blocks weighing tens, hundreds, even over 1,000 tons. To quarry such a block from its bedrock, to free it from the earth's embrace, would require immense force and sophisticated techniques. Then, imagine moving it, not just a few feet, but often miles, across uneven terrain, up hills, over rivers. And finally, the most perplexing feat of all, lifting it into place. Some of these blocks are elevated dozens of feet, forming part of walls, temples, or astronomical observatories. The sheer logistics of such an operation, the coordination of thousands of laborers, the construction of ramps or lifting mechanisms of unimaginable scale, all without the benefit of the wheel or advanced metallurgy, stretches the imagination to its breaking point. This enduring enigma has given rise to a vibrant tapestry of theories, some grounded in conventional archaeology, others venturing into the realms of the speculative and the extraordinary. Each theory attempts to bridge the gap between the known and the unknown, to provide a narrative that can encompass the breathtaking reality of these ancient wonders. Are they the legacy of a forgotten golden age of humanity, a civilization lost to the mists of time, perhaps erased by some global cataclysm? Or do they hint at something more profound, something beyond human capacity, suggesting the involvement of beings from other worlds, or perhaps even a race of colossal beings who once roamed our planet? As we delve deeper, we will allow these questions to resonate within us, not demanding immediate answers, but rather inviting contemplation. The purpose of this journey is not necessarily to provide definitive solutions, but to explore the possibilities, to open our minds to the grandeur and mystery of the past. Let the images of these ancient stones form in your mind's eye. The weathered faces of the blocks at Sacsayhuamán fitting together like a cosmic puzzle. The towering sarsens of Stonehenge standing sentinel against the endless sky. The silent, watchful gaze of the Sphinx, its secrets buried deep within the sands of time. Each site is a chapter in this grand narrative, a piece of a puzzle that may never be fully solved, yet whose very incompleteness makes it all the more compelling. The wind whispers through the ancient ruins, carrying tales of civilizations that rose and fell, of knowledge that was gained and lost. What if the stories of giants are not mere myths, but echoes of a forgotten reality? What if the stars, which ancient peoples so meticulously observed, held not just celestial bodies, but also visitors? These are the questions that stir the soul, that awaken the sense of wonder that lies dormant within each of us. As we continue our journey, let the calm rhythm of the words guide you, and allow your imagination to paint vivid pictures of these impossible stones, standing as eternal monuments to a past that continues to defy our understanding. The mystery is not a void to be filled, but a vast ocean to be explored, its depths holding secrets that beckon us ever onward. Feel the gentle pull of curiosity, drawing you deeper into the heart of this ancient enigma, where every stone has a story and every shadow hides a forgotten truth. Let us continue to dwell within this introductory realm, allowing the profound questions to settle gently, like dust motes dancing in a beam of ancient light. The impossible nature of these stones is not merely an engineering conundrum. It is a philosophical challenge, a quiet insistence from the past that our linear understanding of progress might be incomplete or perhaps entirely flawed. Imagine a world where the very act of building was imbued with a knowledge we no longer possess, a harmony with materials and forces that has slipped through the fingers of time. Consider the sheer audacity of these ancient builders. They did not merely construct. They sculpted the very landscape, leaving behind monuments that resonate with a power that transcends their physical form. It is as if they understood something fundamental about the earth, about energy, about the very fabric of reality, that allowed them to manipulate stone with an ease that baffles our most advanced minds. The cold, hard fact of these colossal stones, moved and placed with such precision, stands in stark contrast to the often primitive tools and societal structures we attribute to their creators. This dissonance is the fertile ground from which all the compelling theories spring. Think of the silence that often surrounds these sites today, a silence that is not empty, but pregnant with the echoes of forgotten endeavors. You might hear the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, but beneath it all, there is a deeper, almost vibrational quietude. It is the silence of ages, the stillness of stone that has witnessed countless sunrises and sunsets, countless human dramas, yet remains impassive, holding its secrets close. This silence invites contemplation, encourages a slowing of the mind, and allows the imagination to unfurl its wings. What if, for a moment, we allow ourselves to entertain the notion that these builders were not simply strong or numerous, but possessed a different kind of strength, a different kind of knowledge? Perhaps their understanding of acoustics allowed them to vibrate stones to reduce their friction, making them easier to move. Or perhaps they mastered principles of anti-gravity, a concept that seems like science fiction to us, but might have been a practical application for them. These are not claims, but gentle ponderings, ways to open the mind to possibilities beyond the conventional textbook. The very act of studying these megaliths is an act of humility. It forces us to confront the limits of our own knowledge, to acknowledge that the past is not a neatly packaged story, but a vast, sprawling tapestry with many threads missing, many patterns yet to be discerned. Each perfectly fitted block at Sacsayhuamán, each impossibly heavy lintel at Baalbek, each precisely aligned sarsen at Stonehenge, is a question mark etched in stone, inviting us to look deeper, to listen more closely to the whispers of antiquity. The fascination with these impossible stones is not a fleeting trend. It is deeply rooted in the human psyche. It speaks to our innate desire for grand narratives, for a sense of wonder that transcends the mundane. In a world increasingly explained by science and logic, these ancient anomalies offer a tantalizing glimpse into something extraordinary, something that defies easy categorization. They are a reminder that the universe, and indeed our own planet's history, holds secrets far grander and more complex than we might currently comprehend. It is a portal to a different way of thinking about our past, a past that might be richer, stranger, and more profound than we ever dared to imagine. Imagine the ancient night sky above these sites, unpolluted by city lights, a vast canvas of glittering stars. Did the builders look up at those same constellations, perhaps seeing not just points of light, but pathways or even homes? Was their knowledge of the cosmos intertwined with their ability to manipulate the earth? Many megalithic structures exhibit precise astronomical alignments, suggesting a profound understanding of celestial mechanics, far beyond what might be expected from cultures without telescopes or advanced mathematical tools. This connection between earth and sky, between the heavy stone and the distant stars, adds another layer to the enigma. It hints at a holistic worldview, where engineering, spirituality, and cosmology were not separate disciplines, but interwoven threads of a single profound understanding. The enduring enigma of these structures also lies in their global distribution. From the Americas to Europe, Asia, and Africa, similar patterns of megalithic construction emerge, often separated by vast oceans and thousands of years. Is this merely a testament to parallel human ingenuity? Or does it suggest a common, perhaps forgotten, source of knowledge that spread across the ancient world? The very idea of a shared pre-Diluvian civilization or a universal guiding hand is a powerful one, and these stones stand as silent witnesses to such a possibility. They are like scattered breadcrumbs, leading us on a global treasure hunt for a lost truth. As we gently drift through these thoughts, allow the images of these colossal stones to form in your mind. Feel the cool, rough texture of the granite, the smooth, precise cuts in the basalt. Imagine the immense effort, the collective will, the profound purpose that must have driven their creation. Was it fear? Was it reverence? Was it a deep, innate understanding of cosmic cycles and earthly energies? The motives of the builders are as mysterious as their methods. The very term megalithic itself, meaning great stone, evokes a sense of grandeur and timelessness. These are not mere buildings. They are geological statements, interventions on the grandest scale designed to last for eternity. And in their enduring presence, they continue to provoke us, to challenge our assumptions, to invite us into a deeper, more contemplative relationship with the past. They are not just ruins. They are living questions, breathing enigmas that continue to whisper their secrets to those who are willing to listen with an open heart and a quiet mind. So, as we prepare to move from this general contemplation to the specific wonders of each site, carry with you this sense of profound mystery. Let it be a gentle current that guides your thoughts. The journey into the impossible has just begun, and with each step, with each stone we consider, the veil between what we think we know and what might truly be grows thinner, revealing glimpses of a past far more extraordinary than any history book might suggest. Allow yourself to be drawn into this ancient dream, where the stones themselves hold the keys to forgotten worlds. Now, with minds calm and receptive, let us journey across the vast tapestry of our planet to stand, in our imagination, before the very stones that defy explanation. We shall visit sites that whisper of ancient wonders, places where the sheer scale and precision of human endeavor leave us humbled and awestruck. Picture these landscapes under the soft glow of a timeless sun, or beneath a canopy of stars that have watched over them for millennia. Chapter 2: Awe-inspiring megalithic sites, unfathomable engineering challenges. We begin our contemplative tour in a land steeped in ancient history, where echoes of Phoenician traders and Roman emperors mingle with whispers of something far older, far grander. Baalbek, Lebanon. The giant's quarry and the unmoved stone. Imagine the fertile Bekaa Valley in modern-day Lebanon, a place where the air is often still and warm, carrying the scent of ancient earth and distant cedars. Here, nestled among rolling hills, lies Baalbek, a site primarily known for its magnificent Roman temples. But as we gaze upon the grandeur of Jupiter and Bacchus, our eyes are drawn beyond the familiar, to the colossal foundations upon which these Roman marvels rest. It is here, beneath the classical columns, that the true enigma of Baalbek begins to unfold. The Roman temple complex, impressive as it is built upon an older, more enigmatic foundation, a platform of truly gigantic stone blocks. These are not merely large. They are of a scale that stretches the very limits of our imagination, pushing beyond what we deem possible for ancient civilizations. We are speaking of stones that dwarf anything known in conventional ancient construction. Our journey into Baalbek's mystery takes us first to the nearby quarry, a silent, sun-drenched excavation where the colossal stones were born. Here lies the stone of the pregnant woman, also known as Hayar al-Hibla. Imagine this, a single monolithic block of limestone, still partially attached to the bedrock, waiting, as if paused in time. Its dimensions are staggering, approximately 20 meters long, 4.2 meters wide, and 4.5 meters high. Its estimated weight? A staggering 1,000 to 1,200 tons. To put this into perspective, that's equivalent to over 200 fully grown African elephants, or roughly 3 Boeing 747 jumbo jets. Picture the sheer volume of rock, the immense mass, lying there, a silent challenge to our understanding. The surface of this stone is remarkably smooth, showing evidence of precise cutting around its edges, as if it were almost ready to be detached and moved. What kind of tools could have carved such a behemoth from the living rock? What kind of force could have then detached it? The quarry floor around it bears marks that suggest a method of extraction, but the sheer scale of the stone makes any conventional explanation seem inadequate. The very air around it seems to hum with unspoken questions, with the ghosts of ancient laborers, or perhaps something more. But the stone of the pregnant woman is merely a prelude. Our gaze now turns to the main event, the colossal foundation stones of the Temple of Jupiter platform. Here we encounter the famed trilithon. Imagine 3 immense blocks of precisely cut limestone, forming part of a retaining wall. Each of these stones is approximately 19 to 20 meters long, 4.3 meters high, and 3.6 meters thick. Their individual weight is estimated at a mind-boggling 800 tons each. Picture them, perfectly fitted together, elevated dozens of feet above the ground, forming a base upon which the Roman temples were later constructed. These are not merely large. They are of a scale that no other ancient civilization, including the Romans themselves, ever achieved in terms of individual block size and placement. The challenge here is multifaceted, and each facet deepens the mystery. Firstly, the quarrying. How are these immense blocks freed from the bedrock? Conventional methods would involve hammering wedges into cracks, or using water to expand wood. But for stones of this size, the effort would be monumental, and the precision seen in the cuts suggests something more refined. Secondly, the transportation. The quarry is located approximately 800 meters from the temple site. Moving an 800-ton block, let alone 3 of them, across even a relatively flat landscape, without the benefit of wheeled vehicles or modern machinery seems utterly inconceivable. Imagine the friction, the immense force required to overcome it, the sheer number of people or animals that would be needed. Even if thousands of laborers were employed, the logistics of coordinating such a massive effort and the engineering required to prevent the stone from cracking or sinking into the ground are staggering. And finally, the placement. These trilithon stones are not lying on the ground. They are elevated, forming part of a wall that reaches a significant height. How were they lifted? Ramps are often proposed, but a ramp capable of supporting and allowing the movement of an 800-ton block would itself need to be a colossal structure, perhaps even larger than the temple it served. The angle of such a ramp would need to be incredibly shallow to prevent the stone from sliding back down, meaning it would have to extend for miles. The sheer volume of material required for such a ramp and the effort to build and then dismantle it would arguably rival the effort of building the temple itself. Furthermore, the precision with which these stones are fitted, with almost no mortar, suggests a level of accuracy in their placement that defies simple brute force methods. The air around the trilithon feels different, charged with an unspoken energy. One can almost hear the ghostly echoes of immense effort, the rhythmic chants of ancient laborers, or perhaps the hum of forgotten machinery. What kind of knowledge allowed these ancient builders to achieve such feats? Was it a lost understanding of leverage and counterweights, applied on a scale we can barely comprehend? Or was it something more esoteric, a mastery of sound frequencies, or even a subtle manipulation of gravitational forces, as some alternative theories suggest? The Roman builders, who later constructed their magnificent temples atop this older platform, were themselves masters of engineering. Yet even they did not attempt to replicate the scale of these foundation stones. They built with smaller, more manageable blocks, relying on their well-documented techniques of arches, concrete, and organized labor. This stark contrast between the Roman construction and the underlying megalithic platform further emphasizes the unique and unexplained nature of Baalbek's oldest layers. It suggests a discontinuity, a break in the chain of technological development, pointing to an earlier, perhaps more advanced, phase of construction. The mystery of Baalbek is not just about moving heavy stones. It is about the very limits of what we believe ancient humans could achieve. It forces us to question our assumptions about the past, to consider the possibility that our historical narrative is incomplete, that there are missing chapters, forgotten technologies, or perhaps even forgotten beings who walk this earth. The stone of the pregnant woman lies in its quarry, a silent, colossal question mark, waiting for an answer that remains elusive, a testament to a power and knowledge that has faded into the mists of time, leaving only these impossible stones as its enduring legacy. The sun beats down, the ancient wind sighs, and the stones hold their secrets, inviting us to ponder, to wonder, and to dream of what truly transpired in this sacred, mysterious valley. Let us now shift our gaze across oceans and continents once more, to a land synonymous with ancient wonders, a place where the desert sands hold secrets as old as time itself. We move to the iconic Giza Plateau, where the very pyramids seem to breathe with the weight of millennia. Puma Punku, Bolivia, the precision of a lost age. Imagine the stark, windswept landscape near Lake Titicaca at an altitude of nearly 13,000 feet. The sun, though intense, feels cool in the thin air, and the silence is profound, broken only by the gentle whisper of the wind across ancient stones. Here, part of the larger Tiwanaku complex, lies Puma Punku, a ruin unlike any other on Earth. It is not its sheer size, though impressive, that first captures the imagination, but rather the astonishing precision and intricate complexity of its stonework. Puma Punku is renowned for its unique, interlocking H-blocks and its incredibly precise, almost machine-like cuts in stones that are remarkably hard. These are not soft sandstones or limestones, but materials like diorite and andesite, which range from 7 to 8 on the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. To put that into perspective, quartz is a 7 and a diamond. The hardest known natural material is a 10. Imagine trying to work with stone that is almost as hard as steel, using only primitive tools. Conventional copper or bronze chisels would simply deform or break against such formidable material. Yet at Puma Punku, we see evidence of cuts so fine, so exact, that they appear to have been made by instruments of incredible sophistication. Picture the individual blocks scattered across the site, some weighing tens of tons. Many are shaped into intricate H or I configurations, designed to interlock perfectly with adjacent blocks, creating a massive, earthquake-resistant structure without the need for mortar. It's like a giant ancient Lego set, but one crafted from impossibly hard stone with tolerances that rival modern engineering. Run your imaginary hand over the surface of these blocks. Feel the almost glass-smooth finish, the perfectly straight edges, the precise internal and external angles. These are not the rough-hewn surfaces of typical ancient masonry. They are the work of master craftsmen, or perhaps master machines. The cuts themselves are a source of profound mystery. We observe perfectly straight lines, sharp internal corners that are impossible to achieve with a simple chisel, and drill holes that appear to have been made with a core drill, leaving a perfectly circular void with a central core. Some cuts are so fine, so exact, that they are measured in fractions of a millimeter. Imagine trying to create a perfect, razor-sharp internal right angle in diorite with a stone hammer and a copper chisel. It simply defies logic and the known limitations of ancient technology. The precision suggests a level of tooling, a mastery of geometry and measurement that seems utterly out of place in the pre-Incan world. Furthermore, many of the blocks show evidence of recutting or being part of a larger pre-existing structure that was dismantled. It's as if the site was either destroyed by some cataclysmic event, scattering its components, or intentionally deconstructed and repurposed. The sheer volume of perfectly cut, standardized modular components hints at a sophisticated system of mass production, a level of industrialization that we do not associate with this period of human history. This modular design, allowing for precise interlocking, speaks to an advanced pre-planning and a deep understanding of architectural principles. The purpose of Puma Punku remains debated. Was it a temple, a fortress, a port, or perhaps a complex astronomical observatory? Its precise alignment with celestial events suggests a profound connection to the cosmos, a common thread we find in many megalithic sites. But how was such an intricate and robust structure built at such a high altitude, where the challenges of logistics and labor would have been compounded by the thin air and harsh climate? The conventional explanations for Puma Punku often struggle to bridge the gap between the observed precision and the supposed tools available. While some archaeologists propose the use of abrasive sands with primitive tools, the sheer scale of the cutting required and the consistent, almost flawless results make this explanation difficult to accept for many. It would require an unimaginable amount of time, labor, and a level of patience that borders on the superhuman, without any margin for error. The evidence on the stones themselves seems to point to something more efficient, more technologically advanced. The mystery of Puma Punku is not just about precision. It's about the very nature of lost knowledge. It forces us to consider the possibility that a highly sophisticated civilization, perhaps one that predates the Tiwanaku culture, existed in this region, possessing technologies that have since been lost to the sands of time. Was it a pre-cataclysmic civilization, wiped clean from the historical record, leaving only these enigmatic ruins as a testament to their existence? Or does the almost alien precision of the cuts hint at something more profound, something beyond human ingenuity alone, suggesting external assistance or even direct intervention? As the high-altitude winds whisper through the scattered H-blocks, one can almost hear the faint hum of ancient machinery, or the silent, focused concentration of beings with knowledge far beyond our own. Puma Punku stands as a silent, yet eloquent, argument for a re-evaluation of our past, a challenge to the neatly drawn lines of historical timelines. It is a place where the stones themselves seem to cry out, "We were not built by simple means." And in that cry, a profound sense of wonder and mystery deepens, inviting us to gaze upon these impossible cuts and ponder the true capabilities of those who shaped them. The sun casts long shadows, highlighting the perfect angles, and the silence of the Altiplano holds the secrets of a lost age, waiting for us to decipher its stony language. Let us now shift our gaze across oceans and continents once more, to a land synonymous with ancient wonders, a place where the desert sands hold secrets as old as time itself. We move to the iconic Giza Plateau, where the very pyramids seem to breathe with the weight of millennia. Giza Plateau, Egypt, architects of eternity, imagine the vast, golden expanse of the Sahara Desert, stretching to the horizon under an endless cerulean sky. Here, standing defiantly against the relentless march of time and sand, are the most iconic and perhaps most debated structures on Earth: the Great Pyramid of Giza and the enigmatic Sphinx. For millennia, these monuments have captivated the human imagination, inspiring awe, reverence, and an unending stream of questions. The Great Pyramid, attributed to Pharaoh Khufu, is a colossal mountain of stone, an engineering marvel that still baffles modern architects and engineers. It consists of an estimated 2.3 million massive stone blocks. While the majority are limestone, quarried locally, their average weight is around 2.5 tons. However, it is the colossal granite blocks, particularly those found in the King's Chamber, that truly challenge our understanding. These blocks, forming the ceiling and walls of the chamber, weigh up to 80 tons each. Imagine a single block, the weight of a modern battle tank, lifted hundreds of feet into the air and placed with astonishing precision. The sheer scale of the undertaking is almost incomprehensible. To quarry, transport, and place 2.3 million blocks, even at a rate of one block every few minutes, would require an unimaginable level of organization, labor, and logistical genius sustained for decades. The precision of the pyramid's construction is equally astounding. It is aligned almost perfectly with true north, with an accuracy that rivals modern surveying techniques. The base of the pyramid is almost perfectly square, with sides varying by only a few inches over hundreds of feet. The casing stones, originally covering the entire structure, were polished to a high sheen and fitted with such precision that a razor blade could not be inserted between them, creating a seamless, gleaming white surface that would have shone like a beacon across the desert. How were these millions of blocks quarried? Conventional theory suggests the use of copper chisels, dolerite pounding stones, and wooden wedges. While these tools could certainly work softer limestone, the granite blocks present a far greater challenge. Granite is an incredibly hard igneous rock, and working it with such primitive tools to achieve the observed precision would have been a monumental, almost impossible task. Then comes the question of transportation. While local limestone could be moved relatively short distances, the granite for the king's chamber was transported from quarries near Aswan, over 500 miles away, likely by river barge. But how were these 80-ton blocks loaded onto barges, transported, unloaded, and then moved across the desert plateau to the pyramid site? And once at the site, how were they lifted to their positions high within the structure? The most widely accepted theory for lifting the blocks involves the use of massive ramps, either a single straight ramp, a spiral ramp winding around the pyramid, or a combination of internal and external ramps. However, each of these theories presents its own set of significant challenges. A straight ramp, long enough to reach the pyramid's summit, at a feasible incline would have to be over a mile long and contain more material than the pyramid itself. Building and dismantling such a ramp would be an engineering feat in its own right. A spiral ramp would be incredibly complex to construct and would obscure the builder's view of the pyramid's corners, making precision alignment difficult. The internal ramp theory, while intriguing, still struggles to explain the movement of the heaviest blocks. The sheer logistics of coordinating thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, of laborers, providing them with food, water, and shelter in the harsh desert environment, and ensuring a continuous flow of materials, is a logistical nightmare even by modern standards. Yet the pyramids stand, silent witnesses to an organizational capacity and engineering prowess that remains deeply mysterious. And then there is the Sphinx, carved from a single massive limestone outcrop. This iconic creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human gazes eternally eastward. Its age is a subject of intense debate. While conventionally attributed to Pharaoh Khafre, some geological evidence, particularly the vertical erosion patterns on its body, suggests it may be far older, perhaps predating the dynastic Egyptians, and pointing to a period when the Giza Plateau received significant rainfall, possibly thousands of years before the accepted timeline. If the Sphinx is indeed much older, it pushes the timeline of advanced construction capabilities back into an even more enigmatic past. The silent, watchful gaze of the Sphinx seems to hold secrets that the desert sands have yet to fully reveal. The mysteries of Giza are not simply about how the pyramids were built, but why they were built with such extraordinary precision and scale. Were they merely tombs for pharaohs, or did they serve a deeper, perhaps astronomical, energetic, or even spiritual purpose? Their alignment with celestial bodies, their internal passages that point to specific stars, and the mathematical constants embedded within their dimensions suggest a profound scientific and cosmological understanding that goes beyond simple burial practices. The Giza Plateau, therefore, stands as a monumental question mark, a testament to an ancient civilization that achieved feats of engineering and organization that continue to defy our complete understanding. The desert wind whispers through the ancient stones, carrying tales of pharaohs and gods, but also of something more, something that challenges the very foundations of our historical narrative. The pyramids and the Sphinx stand as eternal sentinels, inviting us to gaze upon their majesty and ponder the true capabilities of those who shaped them, and the secrets they still hold within their stony hearts. Let us now, in the quiet of our minds, cross the vast expanse of the Atlantic to a land often shrouded in mist and ancient lore. Where a circle of stone stands as one of the most recognizable and enigmatic monuments on Earth. We journey to the plains of Wiltshire, England, to the timeless presence of Stonehenge. Sacsayhuamán, Peru, the living walls of the Andes. Imagine the crisp, cool air of the Peruvian highlands, just above the ancient Inca capital of Cusco. The landscape here is dramatic, with rolling hills giving way to steep ravines, all under a sky that feels impossibly close and vast. Perched majestically on a hilltop overlooking Cusco lies Sacsayhuamán, a site whose name itself, often translated as satisfied falcon or royal eagle, evokes a sense of power and watchful presence. While often described as a fortress, its true purpose remains debated. It may have been a ceremonial center, a massive solar calendar, or indeed, a formidable defensive structure. But regardless of its function, it is the stonework of Sacsayhuamán that truly captures the imagination and challenges our understanding of ancient capabilities. Unlike the modular, almost industrial precision of Puma Punku, Sacsayhuamán is renowned for its massive multi-ton polygonal stones. These are not uniform, rectangular blocks, but rather irregularly shaped giants, fitted together with such astonishing precision that they appear to be part of a natural geological formation, rather than a human-made wall. Picture them, immense boulders, some weighing over 100 tons, with complex, multifaceted surfaces, each one unique, yet each one perfectly interlocked with its neighbors. There is no mortar between these stones. They are dry-fitted with such exactitude that a single sheet of paper or even a razor blade cannot be inserted between them. This level of precision, achieved on such a colossal scale, is a testament to a stoneworking mastery that defies conventional explanation. Run your imaginary hand over the weathered faces of these stones. Feel the subtle curves, the intricate angles, the way each giant block seems to embrace its neighbor, creating a seamless, almost organic whole. It is as if the builders understood the very essence of the stone, coaxing it into its perfect position. The largest of these stones are truly immense, some standing over 20 feet tall. To quarry such irregular, multifaceted blocks from the distant quarries, to transport them across challenging Andean terrain, and then to lift and position them with such flawless accuracy, is a feat that continues to baffle engineers and archaeologists alike. The challenge of Sacsayhuamán is particularly acute when considering the shaping of these polygonal blocks. How were these complex, non-uniform shapes cut and smoothed from incredibly hard stone without modern tools? The conventional explanation involves the use of harder stones as hammers and abrasives, combined with immense patience and labor. However, achieving such perfect, tight fits on irregular surfaces, where every angle and curve must precisely match its counterpart on an adjacent stone, seems to require a level of measurement, planning, and execution that goes far beyond simple trial and error. It suggests a sophisticated understanding of geometry, stereometry, and perhaps even a lost method of softening or manipulating stone. One of the most remarkable aspects of Sacsayhuamán's construction is its incredible earthquake resistance. Located in a seismically active region, Cusco has experienced numerous devastating earthquakes throughout its history. Yet, while later Spanish colonial buildings often crumbled, the walls of Sacsayhuamán have largely endured. The unique polygonal masonry, with its interlocking, slightly rounded edges, allows the stones to dance or shift slightly during an earthquake, absorbing the shock and then settling back into place. This ingenious design speaks to a profound understanding of seismic engineering, a knowledge that seems far ahead of its time. It suggests that the builders were not just concerned with aesthetics or brute force, but with creating structures that would literally stand the test of time and geological forces. The purpose of Sacsayhuamán, beyond its debated function, also hints at a deeper significance. Its layout is said to mimic the head of a puma, with Cusco forming the body, integrating the structure into a larger, sacred landscape. Its walls align with specific astronomical events, further emphasizing the connection between the earthly construction and the celestial realm. The sheer effort involved in its creation suggests a profound spiritual or cosmological motivation, a desire to create something that reflected the order of the universe, or perhaps to communicate with forces beyond the human. The mystery of Sacsayhuamán is not just about the how of its construction, but also the why. Why did these ancient builders choose such a difficult and precise method of construction? Was it purely for aesthetic reasons, to create walls that were both beautiful and intimidating? Or was there a deeper, functional reason related to energy, resonance, or seismic stability that we are only beginning to comprehend? The very stones seem to breathe with an ancient wisdom, a silent testament to a forgotten age of mastery. As the sun sets over the Andes, casting long, dramatic shadows across the immense walls of Sacsayhuamán, one can almost feel the presence of those who built it. Were they the ancestors of the Inca, possessing a lost technology passed down through generations? Or do these living walls hint at something more, a connection to a time before recorded history, when different beings or different levels of human consciousness walked this earth? The wind whispers through the crevices, carrying tales of a past that continues to defy our neat classifications, inviting us to gaze upon these impossible fits and ponder the true capabilities of those who shaped them, and the secrets they still hold within their stony hearts. The mountains stand silent, the sky deepens to an indigo hue, and the walls of Sacsayhuamán remain an enduring enigma, a masterpiece of ancient engineering and a profound challenge to our understanding of the human story. Let us now, in the quiet of our minds, cross the vast expanse of the Atlantic to a land often shrouded in mist and ancient lore, where a circle of stones stands as one of the most recognizable and enigmatic monuments on Earth. We journey to the plains of Wiltshire, England, to the timeless presence of Stonehenge. Stonehenge, England, the cosmic calendar of the ancients. Imagine the rolling green plains of Wiltshire, England, often veiled in a soft, ethereal mist, or bathed in the pale, diffused light of the northern sky. Here, standing as a timeless sentinel against the vast expanse of time, is Stonehenge, perhaps the most iconic and universally recognized megalithic monument on Earth. Its silhouette, a circle of towering sarsen stones and smaller bluestones, has captivated humanity for millennia, inspiring countless theories, myths, and a profound sense of wonder. Stonehenge is not merely a collection of large rocks. It is a precisely engineered astronomical observatory, a ceremonial center, and a testament to the sophisticated knowledge and organizational capacity of Neolithic and Bronze Age peoples. The construction of Stonehenge spans several phases over approximately 1,500 years, beginning around 3000 BCE, but it is the later phases, involving the movement and erection of its colossal stones, that truly challenge our conventional understanding. The monument primarily consists of two types of stone, the massive sarsen stones and the smaller, yet equally mysterious, bluestones. The sarsen stones, some weighing up to 50 tons, are local to the Marlborough Downs, approximately 20 miles to the north. Imagine the immense effort required to quarry these colossal blocks from the chalk bedrock, to rough shape them, and then to transport them across the undulating landscape. Conventional theories suggest the use of sledges pulled by hundreds of people, perhaps over greased timbers or on rolling logs. The friction alone would have been immense, requiring incredible coordination and brute force. But it is the blue stones that present an even greater enigma. These smaller stones, weighing between 2 and 5 tons each, are not local to Wiltshire. Their geological composition has been traced definitively to the Preseli Hills in Pembrokeshire, Wales, an astonishing distance of approximately 140 miles. Picture the journey. These stones were likely quarried, then transported overland to the coast, loaded onto rafts or boats, ferried across the Bristol Channel, and then dragged overland again for the final leg of their journey to Salisbury Plain. This multimodal transportation, covering such vast distances over challenging terrain and water, using only primitive technologies, represents a monumental feat of logistics, planning, and sustained effort over generations. Once at the site, the challenge shifted to the erection of these colossal stones. The sarsens, standing upright, were then topped with lintel stones, creating the iconic trilithons. How were these multi-ton lintels lifted to a height of over 20 feet and precisely placed atop the uprights? Theories involve complex systems of levers, scaffolding, and earthen ramps. However, the sheer scale of the sarsens and the precision of the mortise and tenon joints used to secure the lintels suggests a level of engineering sophistication that goes beyond simple brute force. The primary purpose of Stonehenge appears to be astronomical. Its main axis aligns precisely with the sunrise on the summer solstice and the sunset on the winter solstice. Other alignments within the monument point to significant lunar events. This precise astronomical orientation indicates a profound understanding of celestial mechanics, the movement of the sun and moon, and the cycles of the seasons. It suggests that the builders were not just primitive tribes, but keen observers of the cosmos, perhaps using Stonehenge as a giant calendar, a predictive tool for agriculture, or a sacred site for observing cosmic events. The very act of building such a monument, aligned with the heavens, speaks to a deep spiritual connection with the cosmos. The mystery of Stonehenge is not just in its construction, but in its enduring purpose and the society that created it. Who were these people? What motivated them to undertake such an immense, multi-generational project? Was it purely for religious or ceremonial purposes? Or did it serve a more practical function, perhaps as a meeting place, a healing center, or a symbol of collective identity? The site is surrounded by numerous burial mounds and other earthworks, suggesting it was part of a much larger sacred landscape, a focal point for ancient rituals and gatherings. As the mist rolls in across the Wiltshire Plains, obscuring the distant horizon and leaving only the towering stones visible, one can almost feel the presence of the ancient priests and astronomers who once walked among them. Imagine the solstices, when the first rays of dawn would pierce the heart of the monument, illuminating its inner sanctum, a moment of profound cosmic connection. Was this knowledge passed down from an even older source? Did the builders of Stonehenge inherit a fragment of the wisdom of a lost civilization? Or were they guided by insights that we, in our modern world, have simply forgotten how to access? Stonehenge stands as a silent yet powerful testament to the ingenuity, perseverance, and profound spiritual connection of ancient peoples. It is a place where the past feels palpably present, where the lines between myth and history blur, and where the very stones seem to hum with the echoes of ancient rituals and cosmic observations. The wind sighs through the gaps in the sarsen's, carrying tales of a past that continues to defy our neat classifications, inviting us to gaze upon these impossible journeys and ponder the true capabilities of those who shaped them, and the secrets they still hold within their stony hearts. The sky above darkens, the stars begin to emerge, and Stonehenge remains, an enduring enigma, a cosmic clock etched in stone, a profound challenge to our understanding of the human story. Having journeyed through the tangible wonders of these colossal stone monuments, having felt the weight of their mystery, and pondered the impossible feats they represent, let us now turn our minds to the whispers of explanation. As the gentle hum of our narrative continues, imagine the vast, interconnected web of human thought, stretching back through time, seeking to unravel the profound enigma these stones present. What theories have arisen to bridge the chasm between what we see and what we understand? Chapter 3. Theories explaining the impossible feats. The very existence of these megalithic structures, defying conventional understanding, has given rise to a rich tapestry of theories. Some are rooted in archaeological investigation, pushing the boundaries of what we believe ancient peoples could achieve. Others venture into realms often considered speculative, drawing upon ancient myths, esoteric knowledge, or even the possibility of extraterrestrial influence. As we explore these theories, let us maintain a calm and open mind, allowing each possibility to unfold gently, like a story whispered in the twilight. Advanced lost human civilizations, echoes of a golden age. Imagine for a moment that the history we have been taught, the linear progression from primitive hunter-gatherers to modern technological societies, is but a simplified sketch, missing vast and intricate chapters. This theory posits that highly sophisticated human societies existed in prehistory, possessing levels of knowledge and technology far beyond what is currently accepted for their time. These were not just clever tribes. They were advanced civilizations, perhaps even global in reach, whose achievements were on par with, or even surpassed, some aspects of our modern world. Their monumental structures, these impossible stones, are seen as the enduring, silent remnants of their brilliance. The concept of a lost golden age resonates deeply within many ancient cultures. From the Hindu yugas, describing cycles of human enlightenment and decline, to Plato's Atlantis, a technologically advanced island civilization swallowed by the sea. The idea of a forgotten, more glorious past is a recurring theme in mythology and folklore worldwide. This theory suggests that these myths are not mere fiction, but faint echoes of a historical reality, fragmented memories passed down through generations, hinting at a time when humanity possessed a deeper understanding of the universe, of energy, and of the very fabric of existence. What kind of knowledge might these lost civilizations have possessed? Proponents of this theory suggest a range of possibilities, each as intriguing as the last. Perhaps they mastered principles of acoustic levitation, using specific sound frequencies to neutralize gravity and lift immense objects with ease. Imagine the gentle hum of resonant frequencies vibrating through the air, causing a massive stone block to slowly, effortlessly rise from its quarry bed, floating silently towards its destination. This idea, while seemingly fantastical, has roots in ancient legends of priests moving stones with chants, and modern experiments have shown that sound can indeed manipulate small objects. On a grand scale, it could explain the effortless movement of blocks weighing hundreds of tons. Another possibility is an advanced understanding of leverage and counterweights, applied on a scale we can barely comprehend. Perhaps they had developed sophisticated systems of pulleys, cranes, or counterbalancing mechanisms, far more efficient and powerful than anything we attribute to them. Imagine intricate wooden structures, vast and complex, designed to harness immense forces with minimal effort, allowing a small group of individuals to manipulate objects of incredible weight. This would require not just brute strength, but a profound understanding of physics, mechanics, and material science. Some theories delve into even more esoteric realms, suggesting that these lost civilizations understood and harnessed unknown earth energies, perhaps tapping into ley lines or telluric currents to facilitate their construction. Imagine a network of invisible energy pathways crisscrossing the planet, and ancient builders who knew how to channel and amplify these energies to manipulate stone. This concept, while difficult to prove scientifically, speaks to a holistic worldview where the earth itself was seen as a living, energetic entity, and construction was an active communion with its forces. The evidence for such advanced human civilizations, according to this theory, lies not only in the structures themselves, but also in certain anomalous artifacts and ancient texts. Consider the Antikythera mechanism, a complex astronomical calculator from ancient Greece, far more sophisticated than anything thought possible for its era. Or the Baghdad battery, an ancient artifact that some interpret as an early form of electrical battery. These isolated anomalies, proponents argue, are not just curiosities, but tantalizing glimpses of a lost technological heritage. Furthermore, ancient texts, like the Indian Vedas, describe flying machines called vimanas, and other advanced technologies that seem to defy their supposed historical context. Could these be literal descriptions of technologies possessed by an earlier, forgotten civilization? A critical component of the lost civilization theory is the concept of cataclysm. If such advanced societies existed, why are there no more widespread traces of them? Why did their knowledge disappear? The answer, many believe, lies in global cataclysms that periodically reset human civilization. The most commonly cited event is the Younger Dryas Impact Event, a period of rapid climate change and megafaunal extinctions that occurred approximately 12,900 to 11,700 years ago. This event, possibly triggered by a comet impact or multiple impacts, is theorized to have caused widespread destruction, massive floods, and a sudden plunge into an ice age, effectively wiping clean the slate of human civilization. Imagine the devastating force of such an event. Immense tidal waves sweeping across continents, firestorms engulfing vast forests, and a sudden, dramatic shift in global climate. Only the most robust and monumental structures, built with incredible foresight and engineering, would have survived such a catastrophe, standing as silent, weathered monuments to a forgotten world. The survivors, few in number and stripped of their advanced knowledge, would have been forced to start anew, slowly rebuilding civilization from a primitive state. The megalithic sites, therefore, are seen as the enduring stony fingerprints of this pre-cataclysmic world, fragments of a grander past that our current historical narrative has largely overlooked. This cyclical view of history, where civilizations rise and fall, gain and lose knowledge, is a powerful one. It suggests that humanity's journey is not a simple upward climb, but a series of peaks and valleys, with periods of great enlightenment followed by dark ages. The megalithic builders, in this context, were the inhabitants of a previous peak, their knowledge and skills honed over millennia, only to be tragically lost. The profound precision and scale of their work, therefore, are not anomalies, but logical expressions of their advanced capabilities. As we contemplate this theory, allow your mind to drift to the image of an ancient, global network of advanced sites, perhaps connected by unseen energies, built by a humanity far more sophisticated than we imagine. Picture their cities, their technologies, their understanding of the cosmos. Then imagine the sudden, devastating force of a global cataclysm, washing away all but the most enduring monuments. The silence that follows, the slow, painful rebuilding, the fragmented memories passed down through generations, becoming myths and legends. The megalithic stones in this light become not just architectural wonders, but poignant memorials to a lost world, whispering tales of a forgotten golden age, waiting for us to rediscover their true story. The very air around them seems to vibrate with the echoes of a lost civilization, inviting us to listen closely to the whispers of a past that refuses to be forgotten. Giants Nephilim, the colossal builders of myth. Let us now shift our focus to a theory that resonates deeply with ancient myths and religious texts across the globe. The idea that these colossal structures were built not by ordinary humans, but by beings of immense size and strength. Imagine a time when giants walked the earth, their footsteps shaking the very ground, their hands capable of manipulating stones that would crush 100 ordinary men. This is the realm of giants, often referred to as Nephilim in biblical texts, or similar colossal figures in the folklore and mythologies of countless cultures. The concept of giants is pervasive. From the Greek Titans and Cyclopes to the Norse Jotnar, the Irish Fomorians, the biblical Nephilim mentioned in Genesis 6, and the numerous giant legends found among Native American tribes, African cultures, and Asian traditions, the stories are remarkably consistent across disparate civilizations. These beings are often depicted as possessing not only immense physical strength and stature, but sometimes also great wisdom or even malevolence. The primary argument for the involvement of giants in megalithic construction is, quite simply, the sheer size and weight of the blocks themselves. When confronted with an 800-ton stone at Baalbek or a 100-ton polygonal block at Sacsayhuamán, the immediate, almost instinctive question arises: how could mere humans move that? The answer, for proponents of this theory, is that they couldn't. Such feats, they argue, would require immense, superhuman strength, a strength that only beings of colossal stature could possess. Imagine a giant, perhaps 20 or 30 feet tall, with muscles rippling like mountains, effortlessly lifting a stone that would challenge a modern crane. Picture them placing it precisely into position, their massive hands guiding it with surprising dexterity. In this scenario, the impossible becomes possible. The logistical nightmares of conventional explanations simply vanish. The need for thousands of laborers, complex ramps, and intricate leverage systems diminishes significantly if the builders themselves possess the raw power to manipulate these stones directly. Many ancient texts and oral traditions explicitly link giants to monumental construction. In some Native American legends, giant beings are said to have built the ancient mounds and earthworks found across North America. In parts of the Middle East, local folklore attributes the construction of sites like Baalbek to a race of giants. The biblical narrative of the Nephilim, often interpreted as giant offspring of human women and divine beings, hints at a powerful pre-flood civilization whose works might have been of extraordinary scale. Consider the psychological impact of such beings. If giants indeed roamed the earth, their presence would have profoundly shaped early human societies, inspiring awe, fear, and perhaps even worship. Their building projects would have been seen as acts of immense power, perhaps even divine intervention, solidifying their place in human memory and mythology. The very scale of the megalithic structures could be seen as a direct reflection of the scale of their builders. However, this theory faces significant challenges from a conventional scientific perspective. There is no widely accepted archaeological or paleontological evidence of giant humanoids of the scale required to move these stones. While some fossil discoveries have indicated larger hominids in the past, none approach the colossal size needed for the giant builder hypothesis. Skeptics argue that ancient myths should be interpreted metaphorically, as symbolic representations of powerful forces or early human attempts to explain phenomena they couldn't comprehend, rather than literal historical accounts. Yet the persistence of giant myths across so many diverse cultures, often with similar characteristics, remains intriguing. Could these be fragmented memories of a time when humanity coexisted with, or was influenced by beings of extraordinary stature? Or are they simply universal archetypes, reflecting humanity's fascination with power and scale? As we contemplate the possibility of giants, allow your mind to drift to the image of immense figures, moving with purpose across ancient landscapes, their shadows stretching long under the primeval sun. Feel the ground tremble faintly with their imagined footsteps. The megalithic stones in this context become not just engineering marvels, but direct evidence of a forgotten race, a testament to their colossal strength and their enduring legacy in the collective human consciousness. The wind whispers through the ancient ruins, carrying tales of a past where the impossible was merely a day's work for beings of immense power, leaving behind monuments that continue to whisper their colossal secrets across the ages. Let us now, in the quiet of our minds, turn our gaze not to the depths of forgotten human history, nor to the colossal figures of myth, but to the vast, star-studded expanse beyond our own planet. Imagine the silent, infinite cosmos teeming with possibilities, and consider a theory that suggests the builders of these impossible stones were not entirely human, or at least not entirely alone. This theory, perhaps the most widely known and often debated among alternative explanations, posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in antiquity. These cosmic travelers, far more technologically advanced than early humans, either directly assisted in the construction of these megalithic sites, or provided humans with advanced knowledge, tools, or blueprints that enabled them to achieve feats otherwise impossible for their time. Imagine silent, gleaming craft descending from the heavens, their occupants possessing a wisdom and technology that would have seemed utterly divine to ancient eyes. The core idea is that human civilization received a jump start from off-world visitors. Instead of a slow, arduous climb from primitive beginnings, certain periods of human history, particularly those marked by sudden leaps in knowledge or monumental construction, are attributed to this external influence. The sheer precision, the incomprehensible scale, and the seemingly impossible technology implied by the cuts and movements of the megalithic stones are often cited as primary evidence for this theory. Proponents argue that the gap between the supposed capabilities of ancient humans and the actual achievements at sites like Puma Punku or Giza is simply too vast to be explained by conventional means alone. Consider the unexplained precision we observed at Puma Punku, with its laser-like cuts and perfect angles in incredibly hard stone. How could ancient humans, with copper chisels, achieve such flawless results? The ancient alien theory suggests that these cuts were made by advanced tools, perhaps energy-based or sonic, provided or operated by extraterrestrial visitors. Imagine a beam of light or a field of energy effortlessly slicing through diorite, leaving behind a perfectly smooth, precise surface. This would explain the lack of tool marks consistent with primitive methods and the astonishing accuracy seen in the stonework. Furthermore, the impossible technology implied by the movement of colossal blocks also finds an explanation here. If acoustic levitation or anti-gravity principles were indeed employed, as some suggest, they might have been technologies gifted or demonstrated by these cosmic visitors. Imagine the awe of early humans witnessing immense stones floating through the air, guided by unseen forces, or by the subtle manipulations of beings whose understanding of physics far surpassed their own. This would resolve the logistical nightmares of transportation and placement that plague conventional theories. A significant part of the ancient alien hypothesis draws upon interpretations of ancient art, carvings, and religious texts. Proponents point to depictions in various cultures that they interpret as spacecraft, alien beings, or advanced technology. For example, some Egyptian hieroglyphs are seen by some as resembling helicopters or other modern vehicles. The Dogon tribe of Mali, Africa, is said to possess incredibly detailed astronomical knowledge about the Sirius star system, knowledge that seemingly could only have come from an advanced source, which they attribute to visitors from Sirius. The Nazca lines in Peru, vast geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, are sometimes interpreted as landing strips or navigational markers for aerial craft. While mainstream archaeology offers alternative explanations for these phenomena, ancient alien theorists see them as compelling clues, fragments of a forgotten encounter. The rapid and seemingly inexplicable advancement of certain civilizations also fuels this theory. The sudden emergence of sophisticated knowledge in Sumeria, with its advanced writing, mathematics, and astronomy, or the rapid development of monumental architecture and complex societal structures in ancient Egypt, sometimes appear to spring forth with remarkable speed, almost as if seeded by an external influence. Could these gods mentioned in ancient myths, who descended from the sky and brought knowledge and civilization to humanity, have been extraterrestrial visitors? The theory suggests that these myths are not merely allegories, but literal accounts of encounters with beings from other worlds. This theory offers a compelling narrative for those who feel that conventional explanations fall short. It provides a grand, cosmic context for human history, suggesting that we are not alone in the universe, and that our past is intertwined with a larger, interstellar story. It taps into a deep human fascination with the unknown, with the possibility of life beyond Earth, and with the idea that our origins might be more extraordinary than we currently believe. However, like the giant theory, the ancient alien hypothesis faces substantial scrutiny from mainstream science. Critics argue that interpretations of ancient art and texts are often subjective, and that there is no direct, verifiable archaeological evidence of alien visitation. They contend that what appears to be advanced technology is simply a misunderstanding of ancient human ingenuity, or that seemingly anomalous knowledge could have been accumulated through long periods of observation and experimentation. The lack of physical artifacts that are unequivocally extraterrestrial remains a significant hurdle for this theory. Yet the questions persist. When confronted with the sheer scale and precision of these megalithic wonders, when conventional explanations strain under the weight of the evidence, the idea of external assistance, of a helping hand from beyond the stars continues to resonate with many. It offers a solution to the impossible, providing a framework where the inexplicable finds a place within a grander cosmic narrative. As we contemplate the possibility of visitors from distant worlds, allow your mind to drift to the image of silent, luminous craft hovering above ancient construction sites, or beings of unknown form imparting knowledge to awestruck humans. Feel the subtle hum of advanced technology, the sense of profound wonder, and perhaps a touch of fear that such encounters might have inspired. The megalithic stones in this light become not just human achievements, but cosmic markers, silent witnesses to a time when the boundaries between Earth and the stars were perhaps more fluid, leaving behind monuments that continue to whisper their celestial secrets across the ages, inviting us to look not just to our past, but to the vastness of the universe for answers. Conventional explanations. The ingenuity of humankind. Having explored the more speculative realms of lost civilizations, giants, and cosmic visitors, let us now turn our attention to the explanations favored by mainstream archaeology and history. This perspective emphasizes the extraordinary ingenuity, perseverance, and organizational capacity of ancient humankind. It seeks to explain the construction of megalithic sites through methods that align with the known technological capabilities of the periods in which they were built. Imagine the sheer force of human will, the collective strength of communities, and the clever application of simple physics, all working in concert under the relentless sun. The core concept here is that ancient peoples, though lacking modern machinery, were masters of their environment and possessed an intimate understanding of basic mechanical principles. Their tools may have been simple stone hammers, copper chisels, wooden levers, ropes made from natural fibers, but their application was sophisticated, honed over generations of trial and error. For the quarrying of stones, conventional theory suggests methods such as hammering with harder stones, using wooden wedges inserted into cracks and then soaked with water to expand and split the rock, or carefully chiseling away material. Imagine the rhythmic sound of pounding stones, the slow, deliberate chipping away of rock, day after day, week after week, until a massive block was freed from its bedrock embrace. For softer stones like limestone, this process is well documented and replicable. For harder stones, it would have been an incredibly arduous and time-consuming process, requiring immense patience and a vast workforce. Transportation, according to conventional views, relied primarily on brute force and clever leverage. For moving stones across land, the most common methods proposed are sledges pulled over greased timbers or rolling logs. Imagine hundreds or even thousands of laborers straining against ropes, slowly dragging a massive stone across uneven terrain, inch by painstaking inch. For movement over water, rafts or barges would have been employed, especially for stones quarried far from the construction site, like the blue stones of Stonehenge or the granite of the Giza Pyramids. The logistics of loading and unloading these immense weights onto watercraft would have been a significant challenge in itself. The most debated aspect, and often the point where conventional explanations face their greatest challenges, is the lifting and placement of the colossal blocks. For vertical movement, the primary method proposed is the use of ramps. Imagine vast earthen ramps built up gradually as the structure rose, allowing stones to be pulled or rolled up to their desired height. Different types of ramps are theorized: straight ramps for lower levels, or spiral ramps winding around the structure for greater heights. For placing lintels or capstones, systems of levers, scaffolding, and gradual propping up of the stone are suggested, often involving building up earth beneath the stone until it could be slid into place. Experimental archaeology has provided valuable insights into these methods. Teams of modern researchers and volunteers have successfully moved and erected stones of significant, though not always colossal, size using ancient techniques. These experiments demonstrate that with enough time, enough people, and ingenious application of simple physics, remarkable feats can be achieved. They highlight the incredible human capacity for organization, problem-solving, and sustained effort. However, despite these successes, conventional explanations often encounter significant limitations when applied to the most extreme examples of megalithic construction. These limitations are precisely what fuel the alternative theories we've discussed. Firstly, the scale of some stones remains problematic. While a 2.5-ton pyramid block is manageable, an 80-ton granite block in the King's Chamber or an 800-ton trilithon stone at Baalbek pushes the limits of even the most optimistic ramp or leverage theories. A ramp capable of supporting and allowing the movement of an 800-ton block would itself need to be a colossal structure, perhaps larger than the temple it served, and the sheer volume of material and effort to build and then dismantle it would be immense. The friction involved in moving such weights, even with lubrication, would be staggering. Secondly, the precision of the cuts and fits, particularly at sites like Puma Punku and Sacsayhuamán, is difficult to reconcile with primitive tools. As we discussed, achieving laser-like straightness, perfect internal right angles, and incredibly tight, mortar-less fits in incredibly hard stone, with only stone hammers and copper chisels, seems almost impossible. The consistency of this precision across numerous blocks suggests a method far more efficient and accurate than manual abrasion or chipping. Critics argue that the time and effort required for such precision, even with thousands of laborers, would be astronomically high and prone to errors that are simply not observed. Thirdly, the logistics and duration of these projects, even with conventional methods, are staggering. Building the Great Pyramid in the supposed time frame would require placing a block every few minutes, continuously, for decades. The organization of such a massive workforce, their feeding, housing, and management in a harsh desert environment presents a logistical challenge that remains largely unexplained. For sites like Stonehenge, which involved moving stones over vast distances and multiple phases of construction spanning millennia, the sustained effort and intergenerational knowledge transfer are immense. Finally, the lack of definitive evidence for the proposed conventional methods at the most challenging sites is often cited. While ramps are theorized, archaeological evidence for the massive ramps required for the largest pyramids is limited or inconclusive. The specific tools capable of achieving the precision seen at Puma Punku have not been found. This absence of concrete evidence for the how leaves room for alternative explanations to fill the void. In conclusion, conventional explanations highlight the incredible ingenuity and resilience of ancient humans. They offer plausible mechanisms for many aspects of megalithic construction. However, for the most extreme examples, the heaviest stones, the most precise cuts, the most complex logistical challenges, these explanations often strain, leaving significant gaps and unanswered questions. These limitations are precisely why the alternative theories continue to capture the imagination and inspire ongoing debate, inviting us to ponder whether the ingenuity of humankind, while undeniably vast, might have been aided or perhaps even surpassed by forces or knowledge we have yet to fully comprehend. The stones stand, silent and enduring, holding their secrets, daring us to find the complete story of their impossible creation. Having explored the diverse tapestry of theories that seek to explain the existence of these ancient wonders, let us now gently settle into the heart of the matter, the ongoing debate itself. Imagine a vast, quiet chamber where ideas, like ancient echoes, softly reverberate, inviting contemplation rather than confrontation. Here we will consider the very nature of what we call evidence, the profound reasons why these mysteries continue to captivate us, and what their enduring presence might imply for our understanding of humanity's true story. Chapter 4. The ongoing debate and its profound implications. The discussion surrounding megalithic structures and their impossible qualities is far more than an academic squabble. It is a vibrant, often passionate, intellectual landscape where different worldviews collide and converge. It is a testament to humanity's unyielding quest for truth, a journey into the deepest recesses of our past. As we contemplate this ongoing debate, let us remember that the pursuit of knowledge is a continuous process, and sometimes the most profound answers emerge from the most persistent questions. The nature of evidence and interpretation, whispers and facts. In any grand historical inquiry, the concept of evidence is paramount, yet its interpretation is often a nuanced and complex art. The debate surrounding megalithic structures vividly illustrates the different ways in which information is gathered, weighed, and understood. Imagine, if you will, a vast library of human knowledge, where some books are meticulously documented and cross-referenced, while others are ancient scrolls, fragmented and open to myriad interpretations. At one end of the spectrum lies archaeological evidence. This is the bedrock of conventional historical understanding. It comprises tangible artifacts unearthed from the earth, pottery shards, tools, human remains, architectural foundations, and the very layers of soil and sediment that tell a story of time. It includes the meticulous dating methods, such as radiocarbon dating, dendrochronology, and thermoluminescence, which provide chronological frameworks for ancient sites. When archaeologists excavate a site, they are not just digging for objects. They are meticulously recording context, relationships, and sequences, building a coherent narrative based on physical, verifiable data. For example, when archaeologists study the Great Pyramid, they look for evidence of ramps, such as remnants of construction materials or wear patterns on the plateau. They analyze the tool marks on the stones and compare them to experimental replications using known ancient tools. They examine the logistics of the workforce through settlement remains and administrative records. This approach prioritizes what can be physically observed, measured, and replicated, seeking to build a picture of the past based on empirical data. The strength of this approach lies in its verifiability and its systematic methodology. It seeks to explain phenomena through known human capabilities and environmental factors. However, even within conventional archaeology, there are often gaps, anomalies, and areas where the evidence is incomplete or open to multiple interpretations. The precise methods for moving the largest stones at Baalbek or achieving the incredible precision at Puma Punku remain subjects of intense debate even among mainstream scholars, precisely because the direct, irrefutable archaeological evidence for the how is often elusive. This is where the limitations we discussed earlier come into play. At the other end of the spectrum are anecdotal accounts, oral traditions, and mythological narratives. These include the stories of giants found in global folklore, the tales of gods descending from the sky, or the legends of lost advanced civilizations like Atlantis. These sources are rich in cultural significance and often contain profound symbolic truths. Imagine sitting around an ancient fire, listening to elders recount stories passed down through countless generations, tales that explain the origins of the world and the deeds of powerful beings. For proponents of alternative theories, these narratives are not mere fiction, but fragmented memories, allegories, or even literal historical accounts passed down from a time when the events they describe were real. They argue that these consistent themes across disparate cultures, the global flood, the presence of giants, the sky gods bringing knowledge point to a shared pre-Diluvian history that has been largely forgotten or misinterpreted by modern scholarship. The strength of this approach lies in its ability to connect seemingly disparate phenomena and to offer a grand, overarching narrative that resonates with the human spirit. The challenge, however, is that these accounts are often difficult to verify empirically. They lack the precise dating and physical evidence that archaeology demands. What one person interprets as a depiction of an alien spacecraft, another might see as a symbolic representation of a deity or a natural phenomenon. The line between historical fact and cultural metaphor can become blurred, making objective analysis difficult. The debate, therefore, often centers on how to bridge this divide. Should archaeological anomalies be interpreted as evidence of lost technologies or external intervention when conventional explanations fall short? Or should we always assume human ingenuity, even when the mechanisms remain unclear, and interpret myths as purely symbolic? The scientific method, by its nature, demands testable hypotheses and verifiable data, and it tends to be cautious about embracing explanations that lack direct empirical support. It often prefers to acknowledge unexplained phenomenon rather than attribute it to unproven causes. However, the very persistence of these unexplained phenomena, the sheer scale and precision of the megalithic structures, continues to challenge this cautious approach. For many, the known simply isn't sufficient to explain the seen. This creates a fertile ground for alternative interpretations, pushing the boundaries of what is considered acceptable historical discourse. The ongoing debate is a dynamic interplay between rigorous scientific inquiry and the boundless human capacity for wonder and speculation. It is a constant negotiation between what we can prove and what we are willing to imagine. The stones themselves remain silent, offering their mute testimony, waiting for humanity to agree on the full story they have to tell. And in that silence, the whispers of both fact and possibility continue to intertwine, inviting us to listen closely. Why the enduring fascination? The call of the unknown as the quiet contemplation deepens. Let us consider why these ancient megalithic structures and the profound questions they pose continue to hold such an enduring fascination for humanity. It is not merely a matter of academic interest. It is a deep-seated, almost primal yearning that resonates within the human psyche. Imagine a hidden chamber within your own mind where curiosity and wonder reside, and these ancient stones act as a key, unlocking that chamber. Firstly, there is the innate human desire to understand our origins. Who are we? Where do we come from? What is the true story of our species? These are fundamental questions that have preoccupied philosophers and thinkers for millennia. When we encounter structures that defy our current understanding of our past, they challenge our established narratives and force us to reconsider the very foundations of our history. The idea that our ancestors might have been far more capable, or that our planet's history is far more complex than we imagine, is profoundly compelling. It speaks to a deeper, richer, and perhaps more mysterious heritage than we currently acknowledge. Secondly, there is the sheer allure of mysteries that challenge conventional paradigms. In an increasingly rational and explained world, where science strives to demystify every phenomenon, these ancient anomalies offer a tantalizing glimpse into something extraordinary, something that defies easy categorization. They are a powerful reminder that the universe, and indeed our own planet's history, holds secrets far grander and more complex than we might currently comprehend. The unknown, the unexplained, holds a powerful magnetic pull, drawing us in with its promise of hidden truths and forgotten knowledge. It allows us to step outside the confines of the familiar and entertain possibilities that ignite the imagination. Thirdly, these structures evoke a profound sense of wonder and awe. To stand before the trilithon at Baalbek, to trace the precise cuts at Puma Punku, or to gaze upon the timeless majesty of the Great Pyramid, is to be humbled by the scale of ancient achievement. This feeling of wonder is not just intellectual. It is visceral, almost spiritual. It connects us to something vast and ancient, transcending our individual lives and linking us to the grand sweep of human history, or perhaps cosmic history. It reminds us of the incredible potential, known or unknown, that exists within and beyond our species. Fourthly, the debate itself provides a sense of intellectual adventure. For many, engaging with these alternative theories is a form of intellectual exploration, a journey into uncharted territory. It allows them to question authority, to think critically, and to form their own conclusions based on the evidence presented, even if that evidence is interpreted differently by mainstream scholarship. It is a quest for truth that often feels more exciting and open-ended than established narratives. The very act of asking, "What if?" becomes a powerful engine for discovery. Finally, there is a deep human fascination with the idea of lost knowledge or external influence. The notion that humanity once possessed advanced wisdom that was tragically lost, or that we were visited by beings from other worlds who shared their knowledge, resonates with a desire for a more extraordinary history than currently accepted. It offers a solution to the impossible, providing a framework where the inexplicable finds a place within a grander, cosmic narrative. It speaks to a yearning for connection with something larger than ourselves, to a sense of purpose or guidance from beyond. The enduring fascination with these megalithic structures, therefore, is not merely about solving an engineering puzzle. It is about confronting the limits of our knowledge, challenging our assumptions, and embracing the profound mystery of our past. They stand as silent invitations to explore the unknown, to question the unquestioned, and to allow our minds to wander into the realms of possibility. As the quiet contemplation settles, we realize that these stones are not just remnants of a bygone era. They are living questions, breathing enigmas that continue to whisper their secrets to those who are willing to listen with an open heart and a quiet mind, forever drawing us into their timeless embrace. Conclusion: the enduring enigma and the unfolding story. As our contemplative journey through the world of megalithic structures and impossible stones gently draws to a close, let us allow the profound questions to linger, not as burdens, but as invitations. We have traversed vast landscapes, from the colossal foundations of Baalbek to the intricate precision of Puma Punku, from the timeless majesty of Giza to the organic embrace of Sacsayhuamán and the cosmic alignment of Stonehenge. Each site, a silent testament to an unknown past, has challenged our understanding of ancient capabilities and sparked a myriad of theories, both conventional and extraordinary. Regardless of the ultimate explanation, whether these monuments are a testament to an advanced, forgotten human ingenuity, the work of mythical giants, or the legacy of extraterrestrial visitors, one truth remains undeniably clear. These colossal monuments stand as powerful reminders of the incredible capabilities of ancient civilizations and the vast unknowns that still exist about our past. They are not merely ruins. They are enduring enigmas, etched in stone, defying the relentless march of time and whispering secrets that continue to elude our complete grasp. The debate itself, with its diverse theories and passionate proponents, is a healthy and vital part of humanity's ongoing quest for truth. It forces us to question, to investigate, and to keep an open mind. It reminds us that history is not a static, closed book, but a dynamic, unfolding story, with new chapters waiting to be discovered and old ones waiting to be reinterpreted in the light of new evidence or new perspectives. The very act of grappling with these mysteries expands our consciousness, encouraging us to think beyond conventional boundaries and to consider the extraordinary. Perhaps the true answer is a mosaic, a complex interplay of factors. Immense human ingenuity pushed to its absolute limits, combined with a lost understanding of natural forces, or even, as some dare to dream, a subtle influence from beyond our earthly sphere. The beauty of the enigma lies in its very incompleteness, in the space it leaves for wonder, for imagination, and for continued exploration. As the final echoes of our narrative gently fade, imagine these megalithic structures standing under the eternal sky, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight or the first blush of dawn. They are silent sentinels, guardians of secrets, patiently waiting for humanity to fully awaken to the profound depths of its own history. The questions they pose continue to inspire wonder, fuel research, and push the boundaries of our understanding of ancient history, ensuring that the debate around these impossible stones will continue for generations to come. So, as you drift into a state of calm reflection, carry with you the image of these magnificent, mysterious stones. Let them be a reminder that the world is full of wonders, that the past holds secrets yet to be revealed, and that the human journey is far more extraordinary than we might ever fully comprehend. The whispers of the ancients, carried on the wind, will continue to call, inviting us to dream of lost worlds, of colossal builders, and of a history far grander than any we have yet fully written. Rest now, with the gentle hum of ancient mysteries guiding your thoughts.